Have got another fantastic display for you for the Kennel Club Good Citizen Award Scheme. Now this is where dogs can go through some training and award a bronze, silver and gold award. But there will be some demonstrations, and to introduce it more and to talk you through what happens and what they do, I'd like to give a very warm welcome to Mark Chalice.
Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, I'd like to welcome you to our very short demonstration on the Royal Kennel Club's Good Citizen Dog Training Scheme. Thank you very much, and welcome to the Royal Kennel Club's Good Citizen Dog Training Scheme. And throughout that opening sequence, we saw various aspects of the scheme, from the puppy foundation all the way up to the gold level, and we're going to look at some of those in a lot more detail. We're going to go to the beginning of the scheme, the puppy foundation assessment. So over here in this corner, we've got our 4 puppies. We start with teaching the puppy to play. Play is a very important part of that training process. And it's also where we start to develop that very special bond that we have with our dog. So here we've got a lure to play with, maybe some treats to give the dog. Next, we're looking at hand drying the dog with a towel. It's not just about drying the dog, it's about getting the dog used to being handled and hands going all over the body. And again, it's that touch, it's that special bonding relationship. You see Liz here. Liz is visually impaired and she's teaching her dog to walk over different surfaces. When we get our dogs, they start off in our homes probably, they've got carpet or lino, but they're going to be on pavement, they're going to be on grass, tarmac. So we're getting the dog used to different surfaces. And Chris here is socialising her dog. So I'm going to say hello. So we're going to introduce an adult to the dog. During the course of its life, it's going to be meeting various adults, children, other dogs. So at this stage, we start to socialise with the dog and get it used to meeting other people. That's the puppies. We then progress to the bronze level of the scheme. And we start with Violet here, with her dog, just walking on the lead. Getting the dog used to walking. It's not pulling her arm out of the socket. It's a nice loose lead and a joy to have at the end of the lead. So we're teaching our dogs how to walk with good manners. We've got Tony taking his dog through a door and gate. It could be your front door, it could be a gate to a park or a field, or even your vehicle door. And we're looking for good manners from our dogs. For them to wait, nice and quietly, on command, walking through the gate with the handler. Again, not pulling at the lead to get out. We're teaching to stay here with Emma. At the bronze level, dogs have to stay in one position for 1 minute with a handler 5 paces away. And she's starting to teach the dog towards that. And then finally here we have Mia. She's doing return to handler. We're starting off with a slip lead through the collar. And when she calls the dog, it comes back to her. And then that will be progressed to a stay and wait while she then walks away and recalls the dog. That's at the bronze level of the scheme. Now at the silver level, we have to start examining the dog. At the bronze level, the handler examines their own dog. At the silver level, it's somebody unknown to the dog. So here we have the dog presented for examination, a bit of grooming at the same time, because it has to be groomed as part of the silver level. And we're looking for no adverse reaction from the dog. The dog is happy to be in this position and handled because it's been used to it. Now we have a number of things happening here with our silver dogs. We've got come away from distractions, so discarded food on the floor. It's the bane of every dog owner's life. People discarding fast food, and we want our dogs to ignore it. So here we have our food on the floor, and the dogs are just walking around and not taking any notice of it. They might be interested, they might be curious, but a quick response from the handler, and they leave it alone. And then we've got a quick meet and greet here. We saw meeting the stranger with the puppies. This progresses at this level to meeting other dogs and holding a conversation while the dogs are kept under control. That's at the silver level. And then we move to the gold level. We've got Shelley here practicing stop the dog. We might need to stop the dog in an emergency, and at the gold level, this is done over 10 paces. So we'll see her walk away, recall her dog, but then she'll stop it on command. Could be some oncoming danger, broken glass or something like that, and she's stopping the dog to keep it safe. We're going to explore that one a bit more later. We've got food manners here. We saw the discarded food and having manners around that, but at the gold level, we have to show even more manners. So here we have food in the bowl, dog being told to leave, and it only eats on command. There we go. Very, very good. And then we've got the relaxed settle here. We're using the bed for a relaxed settle. It might be a cage or a crate. It could be the back of your car. It's somewhere where we've got to leave the dog for a short period of time. But the dog will have been used to that. It would have been built up with very small periods, gradually more and more, and knowing that it's not a punishment. Okay, it's somewhere where the dog can relax. Well done, everybody. That's the 4 levels of the scheme. Now, the scheme is all about everyday life and preparing our dogs for everyday life. And in everyday life, we take our dogs out every day. Now, you might walk to a park or an open space. You might drive there. So here we have a busy scene. It's a road. We've got dogs walking up and down, some on the lead, some off the lead. We've got a scooter maniac going in and out of people and dogs. They never care about anybody. We've got our crossing lady here, helping people cross the road. And this is where all those earlier elements of getting dogs used to strangers, walking past distractions, under control, this is where it all comes into its element. And we might be using the car to get to a park or open space. So here we have somebody on the way to the park to walk the dog. Dog's on the back seat of the car. Oh dear, oh dear. You can see why we use a toy dog for this part of the demonstration. But what we're trying to get across here is that if we have the dog unsecured in the car, if we do unfortunately have an accident, this might be the likely outcome. And it could be fatal. I think it is in this case. So we need to practice and promote safe car travel with our dogs. So we're going to look at that again. This time we're using a crate, which is in the back of the car. Oh dear. I wouldn't get in a taxi if this man is driving. But on this occasion, although they may be shaken up, although the dog might be a bit confused and disorientated, it's kept safe in the back of the cage. It could be that you might use a body harness attached to the car's seatbelt system, but we need to keep dogs secure in the back of the car. Well done, everybody. Now we're going to look at being out and about again with our dogs. We might be in a park or an open space, and this is going to be typical of that outdoor area. You might live in a rural area where your dog walk might take you through very rural fields, maybe rights of way through farmers' fields. Could be a park or open space. Up and down the UK, dog owners use parks and open spaces 365 days a year, and we have to learn to share it with some of the other people that use that park. So here we have a very, very busy park scene. Lots of different activities taking place. So we've got joggers jogging with their dogs. We've got dogs walking on the lead, dogs walking off the lead. So some of those elements that we saw at the bronze and silver levels. We've got people practicing, doing their training. They're doing their recalls. We've got some play going on, some tuggies, some recall articles. And we also have other park users that we have to be considerate of as well. Games taking place, football. We've got children, we've got picnickers. And we need to show them that we have good citizen, responsible dogs. Now, some parks and open spaces might contain a water feature, a pond or a lake or something like that. And often these will have wildfowl living in them. And as a good citizen dog owner, we never let our dogs interfere with the wildlife. So just as this lady's doing, if we're close to a lake or a pond, we keep the dog on the lead. We don't allow it into the water, even if it is a hot day, because we are going to disturb the wildlife. And of course, green algae, if it is present in the pond, is dangerous to dogs anyway. So keeping our dogs secure and under control when we're around parks and open spaces. In ponds, sorry. But as I said, we might be going through rural areas, and your walk might take you past a farmer's field or even through a farmer's field. So here we have a field of sheep. And even if the walk takes you through that field, we should be keeping the dog on the lead. And as we can see here, our dog's a little bit curious. He keeps looking at them. But we're keeping them under control. We're not allowing them to bark or to show any kind of aggression towards the livestock. Making sure that everyone is respected. And we have a field of cows. Now cows, again, curious creatures. We always keep our dogs on a lead, even if we're passing through the field. But cows are curious, and they will sometimes come up to see what you're about, especially your dog. If you are rushed by a herd of cows, the best thing to do is drop the lead and run away towards the gate as fast as you can. And rest assured, your dog will be following you and will probably get there before you do. We will hamper the dog's escape and yours if we keep hold of the lead. So always respecting the countryside or the environment that we're walking in. And there's nothing better than taking your dog to other social gatherings. Lots of eateries and restaurants and pubs and things like that now allow well-mannered dogs into their premises. So here we have a pub scene. This could be on your regular dog walk and you meet up with other friends for a beer afterwards and something to eat. This could be quiz night at the Rose and Crown. It could be your local pub. And what we're doing here is demonstrating, first of all, the socialisation skills that we started at the puppy level. All the dogs under control, not interfering with one another. None of them trying to take food or demand the food. And everybody very, very happy to be there. So it's great to take well-mannered dogs out in public, and that is what the Good Citizen Dog Training Scheme promotes. Now, sometimes it is necessary to send our dogs to bed. Sending your dog to bed is not a punishment. It's a safe place for your dog to be. In your home, you might break some glass or something, and you want the dog out of the way. It may be you have visitors that don't like dogs, might be allergic to dogs, or it could be somewhere else. So we send the dog to bed, and at the gold level, we have to see that the dog will go to its bed. Now, we've turned it into a bit of a game just to entertain you, really, and they're going to have a race. We're going to have 3 heats and then a final to see who is the quickest on our team at sending their dog to bed. Now, folks, you can clap, cheer, shout, scream, jiggle in your seats if you wish, anything you like to try and encourage these dogs to get where they've got to be. Handlers, I will say, ready, send your dog to bed, and you will send your dog on the command bed. Are we all ready? Handlers, send your dog to bed.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
Oh, and it's a win on the far side, and it's a bed refusal on this side. Somebody doesn't want to go to bed yet. Our young puppy, not ready for bed yet. So we've got one winner so far. They will be quick, folks, so be prepared to clap, cheer, and scream. Who's our money on here? Is it going to be the Labrador? Let's see. Handlers, send your dog to bed. Oh, and it's just on that side. It was very close with the outsides. I may have jinxed the Labrador there. He wasn't sure about going to bed, was he? Right. We should have one more dog ready. This will be interesting. We've got big ones and we've got little ones. Who's going to be the quickest at going to bed? Handlers, send your dog to bed. Oh. I don't think that constitutes going to bed. My eyes. I'm forever scarred. Who's going to bed? Come on, someone's got to go to bed. We can't put that through, can we? It looks like our Daxie's through to the final. I was told it was not that kind of show as well. Right, so we should have 3 dogs to run off for the quickest. I don't think we can have the Dax out again. We don't actually teach that in the scheme. That just sort of happens naturally. Right, this is it, the final. Who's going to be the quickest on our team? Let's send the dog to bed. Handlers, ready? Send your dog to bed. Oh, somebody's going to someone else's bed. We've got a win. We've got 2 in bed. And we got 3 in bed. Give them all a big round of applause. Well done, everybody. Remember, sending the dog to bed is not a punishment. It's a safe place for your dog to be. Now, we saw earlier with the gold, when we were going around in the corners, the gold team, one of them was practicing stop the dog. And I said we'd look at that again a bit later. So this is where we stop the dog in an emergency, some kind of danger that we can see. Well, we're stopping for a scratch at the moment, but what we're going to do is place the dogs. This is building up to stopping the dog. So they're going to leave their dog. I think we're leaving. Yep, walk away towards the other dog and handler. So the dog will have a distraction when it's coming back to its owner of coming towards other dogs and other handlers, just as you might have in parks and open spaces when you're walking your dog. But we're going to stop it on command. There we are. So a nice stop on command. And we always go to the dog then to clip the lead on. It's pointless stopping the dog and then recalling it again. So back to the dog. Here we're going to see that again. I think over a slightly longer distance, so we're starting to build it up now. Quite a distance. And we're going to try and stop the dog. Lovely stop the dog there. Oh, got up again. Got a bit too excited, he'd done the right thing. So we're building it up. Now what we're going to do is 2 in each corner, and they're going to do it simultaneously. So they're going to leave the dog. So they will have a dog running towards them, but they will be focused on their owner, and they will be stopping on command, hopefully. As I say, this could be a park or an open space. You could be out and see some imminent danger. It might be a parks vehicle about to drive along a footpath. Your dog's rushing back towards you. You can see the danger, they can't. So let's see what happens here. And almost simultaneous, but we stop the dog. And again, as I said before, we go to the dog then to put it on the lead so that it's secure. Excellent stop the dog, guys. Now, being the Good Citizen Dog Training Scheme, we like to put fun into what we do as well. So we developed that into a game, which we call On the Money. So here we have a £5 note, which is going to be stuck to the floor in the middle of the ring. I won't stand too close in case I put the dogs off. And we've got 3 handlers that are going to try and win that money. Because if they can stop the dog on the £5 note, they get to win the money. It is 5 whole pounds, folks. Buy your bag of crisps. And we're on it. That's the first £5 given. Oh, a little bit of cheating there. You think she told the dog where it was? They get away with anything, these dog handlers, don't they? Oh, very, very close and straight on the money. And we stop the dog. And we should have one more. This is Bourbon. Bourbon's got the chocolate hair, not the purple hair. Will Bourbon stop on the fiver as well? That means £15 we're short today. What? Oh, well done, guys, well done. Okay, we made it a bit of fun. But it is all about stop the dog. She's running because I'm trying to nick the £5 note. Right, we're next going to look at the recall exercise. We saw that at all the levels as we went round at the beginning. We're going to put it together now and recall all the dogs at the same time. So we will have 2 lines of handlers. They're going to make their dog stay in a second or 2. And then walk to the opposite side, to the other dog, and on command, they're all going to recall their dogs at the same time. So I'd just like you to get your dog settled in the sit, please, handlers. Handlers, are you ready? Command your dog. Leave your dog. Well, it's always one naughty one, isn't there? Handlers, recall your dogs. And there we see, even with the chaos of lots of dogs running towards them, lots of people, they all returned to the right handler. Well done, guys. And we're going to do that again, and this time we're going to leave the dog in the down position. So everybody place your dog into the down position. Are we all ready? Handlers, command your dogs. Handlers, leave your dogs. And recall your dogs. And that's a multiple recall. Give them a round of applause. That's exceptionally hard to do. But these are dogs that are at the silver and gold level of the scheme and have been practicing for quite some time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, we're coming towards the end of our very short demonstration on the Royal Kennel Club's Good Citizen Dog Training Scheme. If you'd like to know more about the scheme, we are in Hall 3 here, all during Crufts. If you'd like to come and visit us, we can tell you where your local establishment is that runs this scheme, or where examiner courses and things like that are taking place. Or you can visit the Kennel Club website at www.thekennelclub.org.uk. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, I'm going to leave you with the dogs and the handlers. And it's been my pleasure to bring to you the Royal Kennel Club's Good Citizen Dog Training Scheme.
Ladies and gentlemen, give them a huge, huge round of applause. The fabulous Good Citizen Dog Scheme display team. Wasn't that superb?